on-demand tutorials. So as you can see, wearing in this shirt, which is a lot more tighter, that's looser, so a lot more form-fitting. That's why you can see my form more clearly. Right? The goal is to obviously improve the way you look. You want to look a little bit better, a little bit snazzier, right? So depending on what you wear determines how you look, right? At least, in females' perspective. And you definitely want to look better in their eyes, because a lot of guys will wear something like this and then be wondering why females are not interested in them. It's like, this is not a cute look. Now, obviously, my goal is working on slimming down my stomach some more, and the goal will be to look a lot more like this. Obviously, I'll keep improving, but the idea is, at least right for now, the idea is to go from this to this. But in the meantime, this is what I look like. When I get dressed up. And this definitely looks better, at least for now, right? Compared to this. So I don't wear this shirt a lot, obviously. This is for when I get into a much better shape, more uniform, right? And this thing, you want to look uniform, symmetry. You want to, as you can see here, it looks a lot more symmetrical. Like you can look up and down. So I look over here, as you can see, there's stuff sticking out off the sides, sticking out in the front. The idea is to flatten as much as possible, get more of a linear tube-like shape. You don't want a lot of curves, right? Especially as a guy, right? You want to look a lot more lean, right? So that's one of the things I notice a lot, is that most guys have an issue with getting female attention, and usually they don't realize it is because of their clothes. When females are judging guys, they're judging you to disqualify you. They're trying to find reasons to not like you. They're not trying to find reasons to like you, unlike guys do. Guys, we look for reasons to like females. So, especially to fuck them. That's the thing, right? For females, it's about perspective. Perception, right? What something looks like. This is why they wear makeup and stuff like that and wear certain outfits, because they're trying to look like something, right? So to them, it's about the appearance, less of reality. Like they want to be with a guy who's a millionaire because he's a millionaire, not because the money is irrelevant, right? It's just the status, right? It's the fact that she can say, "Oh, I'm dating a millionaire," even though he gives her no money at all, right? So some guys go, "Oh man, well, I gotta be rich to be with a woman, blah blah blah." Why do they care about the money, this and that? It's actually not the money specifically. It's the perception. It's the fact that since you have the money, that makes you something, aka a millionaire, right? Just like if you're the CEO of a company, even if the company ain't making that much money, and maybe in 10 years the company is going to, go out of business or something, it doesn't matter. You're a CEO of the company. To females, that's good enough. It's the idea, the status, right? If they think you're a ladies' man, right? If they think you're a player, right? You be breaking girls' hearts when you actually don't. That works to your benefit, obviously. But it's the fact that, for them, it's about the perception. This is why when you lie to them, they believe it, because they prefer the lie. They want to believe in something that isn't real. Like if you say you own a black tiger, they'll want to believe it. At some point, you're gonna have to prove it, right? But ultimately, they want to believe it. So, with that being said, it's like since they want to believe it, that's why whatever you do has to present something. So that's why you being confident, you acting like you are important, they'll treat you important. If you act like you're tall, they'll treat you like you're tall, even if you're a short guy. And the list goes on, right? It's all about being an exception. It's about showing them something that they can believe in, and they want to believe that you're strong, you're smart, you're nice, and the list goes on. They want to believe that. That's why they most of these females complain about, like, oh my god, he was nice at first, but then suddenly blah blah blah. It's like, He was never nice. He was just nice to you at the beginning because he gave you attention. He gave you attention. You liked him. You saw him. You liked him. So by default, you already labeled him a good guy because you liked him. And then him talking to you, interacting with you, you just started adding more to it, right? Believing it. Oh, yeah, he is a good guy because he's talking to me. But in reality, he was an asshole the whole time. If you were paying attention, he was being an asshole to the waiters, or he was being an asshole to some other female. And you didn't care that he was being an asshole to the other female, as long as he's not an asshole to you. So since he was talking to you and being nice to you, right, as in he wasn't treating you the same way he was treating the other female, you overlooked it. So all the red flags were there. You just ignoring them, right? You just kept painting the red flags green. That's the difference. So that's what most females tend to do. And then they complain later that, oh my God, he was different than I thought. It's like, yeah, different than you thought because you made something up. You made up a version of him that didn't actually exist. So, like I said, reality versus fantasy, right? This is reality, right? And this is what they want to see. They want to see that versus that. So, of course, you got to do what you can to improve. So, obviously, improve your appearance, right? You know, try different hairstyles. Try facial hair, no facial hair, right? Try different types of clothing. Obviously, button shirts, more professional adult-like clothing tends to work better than kid-like clothing, right? Whatever you wore when you were young, don't try to wear it. That's my best advice. Try not to wear things you wore when you were young. Try to wear things that older men will wear. Stuff that your father probably wore, your grandfather, right? You gotta start manning up. Most females, especially from my experience, they tend to be way too young. I have to block them from time to time, like older men. So younger females like older men. So if you dress like an older man, you're going to be treated as such. AKA, they're going to be throwing themselves at you. That's what I deal with. Literally, females telling me, like, oh, age don't matter. I like older men. And it's like, oh, it matters. Legally, it matters. Time to block you. You're too young for me. Wait a couple more years, then hit me back up. Right? So I got to deal with shit like that. So. And that's the type of problem you want anyway. You want that type of problem. It's like, okay, there's options, there's interest, but a lot of this interest needs to be avoided. And then whatever, there's some chicks out there, typically 20 and up, obviously, is what you ideally want. Try to avoid 18 to 19-year-olds. They're still a little too young mentally to interact with them, even if they're legally adults. You want them to have some experience as an adult. So 20 and up, they'll have some experience as an adult, paying bills, blah, 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 that kind of stuff, being more responsible. So that way they can appreciate and respect the things you do, like, respect what you do, right? How you make money, how you dress, work on your hygiene, of course. Let's see. But the main thing I'm trying to focus on is the first thing they're going to notice before they even get to know that you smell good, or that you're a nice guy, or you're smart, or you're successful, or you've done anything cool in your life, or you got a big dick, or whatever. Before they even find out all about those things, the first thing they're going to look is see you and be like, is that somebody worth looking at? Someone worth dealing with? Is that someone I should ignore? And the thing is, you don't want to be ignored. You want their attention. You definitely want them simping for you. And that's the most important thing, simping. So try to find what works, what gets attention, shit, just a couple of days ago, I was just walking and somebody just yelled out like, damn, Hercules. And I was the only other person around. I'm like, I guess they're referring to me. I'm a big guy. So it's like, all right, thanks for the compliment. Random as hell, but I do appreciate it. Could have been like, damn, fat ass, but it wasn't. It was damn Hercules. So that was a hell of a compliment. Literally, it was at night, so I barely could see who the hell said it, but clearly it was somebody close by. Like, I could see them. It's just that, there was a distance, and there was a fence, like a metal fence, because I think we have like a baseball park or whatnot. So somebody was in the baseball area. The point is that I'm just walking, going to work, and I'm dressed up, looking nice. Basically wearing my work uniform, and that was just funny to get that type of response. So it's just something I was, just pointing out the importance of understanding that that's going to happen, right? That you know people perspective. I had a scenario where there was a female. Later on, I saw her. I kept hearing her. She was like across the street making noise, but I was ignoring her, minding my own business. So I was getting catcalled. I was just like, no, I'll just ignore it because I was on my way to work. And at that time, I was wearing, something a little bit more like this. It was a different color tie, but I was wearing something more like this, and I was on my way to work. And I kept getting catcalled by a lady. Later on, it turned out she was a crackhead, but hey, still, it was a female, regardless of her life situation. Still, it was a female, and she, was giving me a nice compliment. Sexy, handsome, good looking, big man, stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff you want. That's another thing, especially when you're a big guy. And that's the main point of this video is being big and looking good. While you're big, that's important. Because the thing is, you have to understand that if you want a female to give you attention in the first place, but you also want a female to even want to be around you, you got to be worth being around. You got to look like it wouldn't be a problem to be around you, right? You don't want no female is going to want to be around a guy where everybody's insulting him, disrespecting him. No female wants to be around a guy like that. They want to be around a guy who's being respected, who's being given compliments. You're not going to get compliments looking like this. Maybe I can get some compliments looking like this, but even I wouldn't give myself a compliment looking like that. But like this, damn right, damn sexy. So this makes sense, right? So I'd rather look like this and get compliments than look like the other way. So that's the thing, is like you want to be the guy that, will get respected, the idea is just to not distract them from who you are, because your personality, who you are as a person, what you do, like I said, no one knows if you're smart, if you're a good person, if you're a kind person, a caring person, you're like the type of person who likes to help people, charitable, no one knows all these things. The first thing they see is this, right? First thing they see is all of that. So they don't know nothing until they get past that. And it's going to be hard to get past that when you're literally advertising that. So the idea is, don't advertise that. Look better, be more presentable, and then show them your worth, who you are, right? The best way to put it is, this looks like a lump of coal. I literally do. Lump of coal. But they don't know there's a diamond on there, right? So the idea is you want to present yourself more like a diamond and stop looking like a lump of coal. Better to look like hot shit than to look like a piece of shit, right? So I definitely like this picture. I look good. Obviously, need to slim down the face. My face, get rid of that double chin to add to the aesthetics. But other than that, yeah, and some facial hair. Hopefully someday I'll get to grow my facial hair back. But because of my job, I gotta keep shaving it off. Do look better with facial hair. And this thing is just find what best suits you. I got long hair. I brush it back, gel it, tie it behind my back of my head. So I got long hair. I could braid it. I've done it before. It looked all right. The females liked it. I mean, here's a little story. So one of my exes braided my hair. Like, she really insisted on braiding my hair, so I let her braid my hair. And then, and she did like during class time. So then I go back to my dorm, and on my way to the dorm, I'm just chilling like in the lobby area, and there's this female that I know, big Latin chick, sexy body, right, thick Latin chick with big titties. Well, the way I would know is because she literally saw me, threw herself at me, and just my face was all up in those titties, just because my hair was braided, right? She loved it. And she was wondering like who the hell braided my hair. Like she was a little jealous at the idea that, you know, because clearly it would not have been a guy who braided my hair, so it would have to be a female. So she was wondering who the hell braided my hair. So there was that. And of course, she offered to braid my hair for future purposes and references, which I would not have had a problem with, obviously. But anyway, that's the point. Just something as simple as that. Like literally, just I wasn't even, it's not like I planned to have my hair braided or anything like that. It just happens. Like my girlfriend at the time insisted on braiding my hair, and we've only been dating for a couple of days, so it's not like everybody knew we were together. So she wanted to braid my hair, and that's the other thing. Not only her, there's other females that caught attention. Some females literally walked up to me, asking me like who braided your hair? And I was like, oh, my girlfriend. And they were surprised I even had a girlfriend. I was like, what? So that add to it. So you see, something as simple as that was drawing some attention. Something as simple as that. Like I've always experienced that in my life. Whenever I make a change to myself, the effects, the results, it's always in the positive. So like I said, if you instead of wearing this and you change out of that and put on something like this, the way you'll get treated and the results are different. This doesn't only have effect on women, which is the effect you want, right? You want to affect the ladies, right? This also affects guys in the fact that they'll show you respect. They might start calling you sir, which is something you definitely want. That's a sign of respect. Even if you're a young guy, to be called sir is still a sign of respect. That means they respect you as a man by calling you sir. So you don't have to be old to be called sir. It's just a sign of respect. So if you dress the part right, you're going to be treated as such. So if you want respect, first off, earn it, right, as a man. But you can artificially get respect. And that's where dressing like this, as opposed to dressing like this, the level of respect would be evident. There's some people, just me dressing like this, have looked out for me, like did favors, like made exceptions. Like they let me get away with shit that made no sense for me to get away with. Like a couple of times, I was able to get away with not paying for something just because of the way I was dressed. They were willing to just let me not pay, or they paid for me, or something of that nature. So I've been in many scenarios where just based off of how I'm dressed, I get treated a certain type of way, a positive way, ways that you would like to. So as much as females do things so they can get, the results they want, there's guys on the internet like, oh, you females dress like that to get attention. You wear makeup to get attention, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, and it's working. We agree that that's why they do it. Even if they lie and be like, no, that's not why I do it for myself. All that nonsense is like, no, that's exactly why they do it. But here's the thing. Y'all literally giving her the attention after she does it, so of course she's going to do it. She only does it because it works. Females are on OnlyFans because they can make money from it. If they couldn't make money from it, they wouldn't be on it. Females are on Twitch because they can make money on Twitch by playing video games and being bad at it. Some are good, but not all of them. A lot of them are terrible at the game. But does it matter? No, because you simps keep making it where it's okay for them to be bad at the game and make money. As long as they're pretty. Right? So it's your fault. That's for rewarding them for what they're doing. So, right? But since that's the name of the game, right? If that's how, they're getting their benefits, right? That's how they're, living their best life and whatnot. You guys can do the same. Literally, our version of makeup would be growing facial hair, right? Skincare, right? Try not to have acne. Change your diet. Because more likely if you have acne, it's because you're eating unhealthy. You're probably eating burgers and shit. So stop it. Eat some Caesar salad, some Caesar salad, Caesar wraps and shit like that from Walmart or something. Like eat a hoagie, or like eat fruits and vegetables. Try to eat less. 1 to 2 meals a day. Stop trying to eat 3 to 4 times. Right? You're not bodybuilding, so why are you eating so much? Eat less. Especially if you're just sitting on your ass, eat less. Things like that is you gotta take into account and consideration. gotta, yeah, like I said, do what you can do to look better. Like I said earlier, it's like, this is what I look like with the shirt on. But if I work on my stomach area, I can look a little bit better this with this. But it would be obviously better to wear something more like this because it just looks so much better. But if I am going to wear more casual, at least I'd rather look like this casually than to look like this casually, right? Like this, I could look like this inside the house. But if I'm going outside, I'd rather look more like this, or definitely more like this. Especially if I know I'm gonna be around females. If I'm gonna be around the boys, this or this is, it's not that big of a deal because I ain't trying to impress them anyway. But if I'm gonna be around females, the female gender, then I definitely need to put my best foot forward, right? Just like we want females to look good, right? Hot and whatnot. That applies to us too. Even if, I agree, guys technically don't really need to be good looking. We got to be smart, strong, financially secure, blah, blah. We got to be the boss, right? We got to be the man. That's more important, being a man, as opposed to, the, our genetics, being tall, six pack, blah, blah. All that superficial stuff is irrelevant when you have everything else on fleek. When your money's is high, your appearance is irrelevant. When your health, or at least your aesthetics, your height's irrelevant. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you at least look good the way you are, is what I'm trying to say. You being yourself. If you look the best version of yourself, the way you are, regardless of how you look, that will outweigh any of your shortcomings, right? So the idea is to highlight your best features and mitigate, or at least try to hide your flaws, right? Your imperfections. So like I said, like, this doesn't hide my flaws, but this does hide my flaws, right? This makes me look a whole lot better. I mean, it's hard to hide that double chin, but obviously we're working on it. But, exercises fix that, just like the exercise fixes the spare tire. Gotta get rid of that spare tire. I don't need it. And the idea is to obviously try to improve. And obviously lifting weights and stuff like that will help improve. One, aesthetically, I'm a big guy, so I'm always going to be big, so might as well be big and strong, right? Big and muscular. Because being skinny is gonna be pointless for me. I'm better off big. So, gotta put work towards that, more work towards that. I lost a lot of weight. I lost more weight recently in the past week or so, and I've been able to keep it off. So that's important. It's not enough to take it off; it's also to keep it off. And I've gotten stronger. So obviously, the weight training is putting on some muscles. So turning the fat into muscle, so I can go from the bulk to the Hulk. So of course, always try to improve. But in the meantime, the whole point of this video is, in the meantime, at least try to look more presentable. Do what you can to make how you look better, right? Take what you got and make it presentable, right? Instead of just that. So do better, be better. That's the main thing, is actually be better, but also do better, right? Actions speak louder than words. So what you do is just as important as what you are. So if you eat healthy, females are going to notice that. If a female sees you eating a salad, even at first, even if she at first, thinks it's funny, and, that's irrelevant, because eventually if she keeps seeing you, and it's like, oh, he's really still eating that. It's not like a one-time thing. And I notice and then she's gonna notice like, oh, he's looking healthy. He's getting in better shape. I don't see no acne on his face no more. Blah blah. That kind of stuff. They're going to notice. Trust me. That's the thing. Females are watching you all the time. And the irony is, yes, they're watching you and looking at, like, I'm not fucking him. I'm not fucking him, right? But you're not supposed to give them reasons to not want you. You need to improve to give them reasons to want you. Trust me, the better, the more you do to improve yourself, the more they're going to want you. The more they're going to notice, because they're already noticing you. They already notice that you're not your best self. So once you start improving, that they will notice. You might think they don't notice. You might think they're not even looking at you, but they are. They're looking at you. The only thing is they don't like what they see. So that's why you're not getting anything out of it, right? You're not getting no attention, right? No benefits, no booty. And it's because, first and foremost, it's because of how you look, right? And this is a message to the incels, is like, if you guys are complaining that females don't be nice to you, they don't respect you and this and that, well, look in the mirror. You'll see why they don't. And if what you see in the mirror doesn't look like the best version of yourself, if what you look in the mirror looks like this, but doesn't look like this, which looks better, then you need to fix that. That's a you problem. That's not them problem. Females are very simple. They function on emotions, not logic. So it's not like they're logically saying, you know what, you're not worthy of female attention because, logically, you're not that guy. No, they're not being logical. They're not thinking when they look at you. They're feeling when they're looking at you. If they look at you and you look like this and they feel disgusted, well, that's your fault. You made them feel that way. Stop making them feel disgusted of you and make them feel horny, make them feel wet. Make them feel nice around you. Shit, I have that happening because I got some female coworkers, and I I could feel the vibe. There is a vibe, right? And if you know anything about vibes, you understand. There's some vibes. The level of respect that I get from the ladies, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Um. So, sorry. So, with that being said, you got to practice speaking to the ladies, right? Because once you get your shit together, right? Once you start getting your appearance to look better, so that way they notice you, you gotta know how to speak, right? You gotta know what you gotta say. And obviously, that's for another video. Right now, I just want to focus on stop looking like an incel and start looking like the man. That's the end of the video.